gentlemen, to Wolf Industries something. We have the finals of the ASL Gemini 2v2 tournament. 8 teams entered. Some of them were absolutely fantastic. The other ones were an absolute mystery because we didn't see their games. But now, we have the ultimate, the best of the best from each side of the bracket. In the southern position, Team Axiom Pro Streamers. Their Protoss component. This is CranK.
Whoa, yeah, whoa! Crowd effects! I ruin everything, but I don't care.
And the Terran component of this TNP team, this is Heart.
No worries, I won't mention the thing we talked about. Alright, in the top right-hand corner, we have the saviors of 2v2. The number 1 on NA and EU on 2v2. It is the Vanguards. Half of them is the Pink Terran. Representing LRG, it is PureLegacy. And the other half of the Vanguards, the saviors of 2v2. Also from LGR, it is the Teal Protoss. Larry. Just Larry, you gotta do crazy stuff, man. Such
Larry
a classy
is
name.
such a name that's, well, such like a tame name for StarCraft 2. You've
Kind.
got like CranK, and like hashtag crank it up. And you've got Heart and PureLegacy. And then it's like Larry, and that's like a legitimate name, so good for him.
I played a guy who was just Kyle on ladder one time, and I was like, I don't even want to beat you. I just like feel bad. I feel like bad if I beat you, Kyle.
All right.
All right. Well, to start this off, gold base by Terran PureLegacy. Sorry, I just like you were about to say that.
That's what I was gonna say.
You, man.
That's fine, but the thing that I was also gonna bring up is in the previous time that we saw this map, it was the previous series. It was PureLegacy and Larry were once again playing on it. PureLegacy just totally lifted up and moved his main base over to the gold, but didn't really necessarily work out too well for him. I'm pretty sure that's the game they lost. So, yeah, in this case, he's just going to be taking a pretty fast gold base. Looks like the Reaper did get shut down. Unfortunately for PureLegacy, he loses the Reaper. But, yeah, he's taking a pretty fast gold.
And he has taken a very fast gold, like you were saying, not like the previous game, which, that was the previous game, the 50-minute one we just casted. That's how that started. I'm just remembering that. It's kind of crazy. That's how that game started between them and the Flip Side Tactics team. But yes, get into this. Looks like Axe Heart opening up with a very aggressive opening, 3 racks. And I mean, there's a couple songs about getting 3 racks, by tempo, 3 racks, and he just like quit the game, man.
But it's 3 racks with the backup of the gold natural. So there's going to be a lot of Marines that he could potentially pump out. He hasn't added on reactors just yet. He is instead just going to be keeping those, you know, just pure and simple, plain and simple, racks. Never mind, as I say that he adds on a tech lab, whatever. 5
Dang it, Hart.
5 gateways added on for CranK, though. Oh, my word.
All right. Big scan into the main base of Larry. Big scan in the main base of Larry by Heart. Spots double Stargate and the Phoenix production coming out. And beautiful, Larry's Phoenix does also spot CranK's Pylon. So this is really big because PureLegacy taking that early gold, they need to know what's happening, and because they've spotted that, they're in a little bit better of a situation than before. Because I mean, CranK and Heart, amazing Korean players, but we have the 2v2 guys who have proved themselves, so I'm coming up in this.
That was a very weird part for Skype to actually cut out your audio. I just missed what you said. But I'm gonna continue.
Am I still here?
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
okay.
you're still here, but just for like 2 seconds, I completely lost everything that you said. CranK going to be pushing in a couple of Stalkers warped in on the north side. Now, this is what he did against, I believe it was Parting Journey, the Team Big Boys. So they're going to be trying this again, same map, same kind of strat, as he's going to be starting to work away at these rocks.
You will be starting to work away as these rocks that we've seen a couple times with, I believe it was Puck pressuring these back rocks with a Stalker. With a Stalker push, but it looks like for now, I mean, what we actually saw when that happened is the Terran and Protoss defended it, but we're gonna have to see. And by the way, this is a Terran versus Protoss versus Terran versus Protoss, Terran and Protoss versus Terran and Protoss. But the Phoenix is picking up 3 Stalkers here. PureLegacy moving forward and try.
Nice blink control coming out from CranK, he's actually keeping a lot of these Stalkers alive much longer than they otherwise would have been, even against the Phoenix. He's going to be able to survive that much more longer, and this is 1v2. CranK is by himself. Yeah, reinforcements are on the field. They're almost there for Hart, but they aren't here. This is a 1v2 by CranK. He's got to hold the line until Hart shows up. This is a long line of Marines. He's going to be able to add a ton of DPS and really cement this victory, but a tremendous lead for Axiom Pro streamers.
Larry having to pull his probes to the Phoenixes. He knows they can't stay there, and he's got to keep some way of economy, throwing them into the gold base. But right now, Hart and CranK are just decimating these two players. The Phoenix is still trying to get out, but there's nothing for PureLegacy. Everything is being pulled. Actually, not all the probes, but almost everything being pulled. Surrounding SCV's probes, surrounding Phoenix is picking up Stalkers. Manor Mule from a Hart, and maybe it's uncalled for, I don't know. But so far, Phoenix is powering through, doing so much, but all the probes gone. Only a couple SCVs left. This is looking very, very strong for Axiom.
Larry falls down into single digits of probes. Maybe the Manor Mule was a little bit early, but it probably will be the end of the game.
Definitely. Sorry about that. My sound cut out for 2 times. I hit a button, so it's actually all my fault. But Phoenix is picking up Stalkers, finishing the rest of them off, but just look at the income right now. 11 and 21 workers for Larry and PureLegacy, while it's 23 and 46 for Hart and CranK. Such a huge economy. I don't know how they're going to come back from this, even though PureLegacy's like, I got gold bases, man. Each player does have gold bases a little bit, but it's just so much damage done. But the Phoenix count of Larry's so high, is 15 Phoenixes. Be able to do a lot of damage, but I'm sure CranK and Hart will be ready.
They do have an opportunity, team the Vanguards. Or rather, just the Vanguards. They do have an opportunity to do some damage if they can find the weak angles with these Phoenix, and as you were referencing, make something happen. This is their chance. They're heading into the main base, looking for those probes to pick up. They grab the SCV before he can finish the missile turret, but Photon Overcharge.
Photon Overcharge goes down, but the Mothership Core is sniped right there. These Phoenixes reigning undetested in Hart's and CranK's base, trying to get as much damage as they've done. I love how he started building the missile turret, really playing team. But in the top part of the map, in Larry's base, another big warping of Stalkers. This is the reason why there was nothing to detest the Phoenixes, and just working on the Cybernetics Core. Now there's not going to be no Stalkers, no sentries for Larry to be able to warp in from here.
Is going to have to work pretty much only based on his ally defending him. Now, this is once again a 2v1, so it's just down to CranK. Hart is not here for support. Hart's on the other side of the map, allowing PureLegacy to stim forward here, going to be pushing forward, doing a lot of damage. Marines under those Stalkers as they're in the sky, eliminating absolutely everything.
Everything but one Stalker and one little probe. They will get probably, I'm not actually going to take it back, won't get picked up, but big scan into Hart's base saying, wait, Hart wasn't a part of this attack. Where is he? And he spots him. His entire army's at home. Not a big army. It is only 26 Marines, but still, that's all you need to really get rid of these Phoenix counts. No Widow Mines, no nothing. Just pure, actually starting one Widow Mine now, but pure Marine for Hart, while CranK's still going Stalker, which I really like. CranK being aggressive, but they need to regroup and smash whatever they can, because this is the last, I think, and Larry can really muster up. They're just so, they're so far down in workers. Actually, as I say that though, CranK is only at 22 probes, or SCVs.
Axiom Pro streamers potentially had an opportunity to really push far ahead, but CranK still sitting just on that one base, and this one base is going to be mined out relatively soon. He really is liking this one base sort of play, but can he make it happen against, well, a gold base and a 2-base Protoss? And Larry still doesn't have a super healthy worker count, but as you mentioned, it's better. However, Marine's going to be pushing forward. There's a +1 attack advantage for Hart. He's going to be able to tear through a lot of the Marine Marauder of PureLegacy, and now he's going to be able to work on the Phoenixes.
Yeah, CranK and Hart are almost just like willing this through, like this is what has to happen. Win. There's no giving up, but pushing forward very violently here. +1 weapons for the Marines, while CranK does not have any upgrades at all. These Phoenixes actually will catch I won't catch these Stalkers out of position, but but for now, PureLegacy knows he has to boost up into the main base, and so far, actually, CranK and Hart do not know about this gold base.
They also need to make sure that they're always taking fights together as a team. This tank is a little bit unsieged. He does get picked off there by Hart. He is going to be able to tear through, again, a lot of this Marine Marauder, and the Phoenix is finally going to be getting targeted down. But can he actually push on through? Can he actually deal with this another tank? Is it actually going to be sieging time? The answer thus far is no. It goes down, basically not firing a single shot, and more Marines pushing forward. Another Manor Mule.
Another Manor Mule off the back of these Marines, pushing through so hard. Hart's Marines do have +1, allowing them to do so much more damage. Phoenix is on top of the entire army, actually not even attacking Or sorry, this was Larry's. My bad. I'm stupid here. But okay, Larry's Phoenix is not quite in a position to even do attack the Medivacs or anything like that. Picking up some Marines, but they cannot keep doing that. Stalkers of CranK working on PureLegacy's Marines. Finally, Larry coming in to try to pick some of them up, but I mean, it's already maybe too late. Larry not even working on it. Huge Widow Mine hits! Takes out almost all of those Phoenixes. Only 4 Phoenixes left. GG! Larry! Axiom, pro streamers take game 1 of this best of 3 in a very quick 15:39. Everyone, and welcome back to possibly the final game of ASL's Gemini League, which is a 2v2 league, as you guys all know. In the top right-hand spawn position, the team that is currently up 1 game, hailing from Korea. Half of them is the blue Protoss, CranK. And the other half of this team is the red Terran, Heart. Both from Axiom and both the Axiom Pro streamers.
Our southern team, the Vanguards. Can they bring it back? Can they make it happen? They're one of the best 2v2 teams on the ladder, but can they stand up against the power? This, in the southern position, is PureLegacy. He is the Terran component of this 2v2 team. The Protoss aspect is very serious. But the Protoss aspect of it, who is maybe Protossing a little bit too hard in this game, this is Larry. He might even wear a leisure suit.
That's what I messaged him, and he never messaged me back.
Okay.
Alright, looks like Cannon Rush going down, but I mean, okay, if you're gonna Cannon Rush, don't Cannon Rush the Korean that's like, okay, I need a 6th if you put down 1 pylon. I mean, like, they know that exact numbers of exactly what they'll need, and they're fine. And even Hart being like, it's cool, man, it's cool. You mine, I do this, we cool. Definitely Hart is a black man.
That is not true. I have seen video of him from various tournaments, but we do have 1 cannon going to be finishing up. Oh. Not exactly in an optimal position for trying to do things. The second cannon that's going to be finishing up is in a much better position. Now, this didn't necessarily work out super well versus Puck. I do believe in that game, Larry and PureLegacy ended up winning the game in the long run, but it wasn't actually directly because of the cannon rush. It may do a bit more damage into here.
Yeah.
Maybe.
What I was gonna say was it'd be funny if Larry accidentally cannon rushed the Terran, and the Terran just lifts up and goes to the gold, like, screw you then, I was like, how did it go? Crap. But finally, a cannon of Larry is in range for CranK, and taking out that Nexus, there is 1 Stalker and 1 Reaper. Thankfully, though, CranK did place his Gateway and Cybercore on the right-hand side of this base, so it's not going to be, all his tech is going to be taken out really quickly. But PureLegacy off the back of this saying, you know what? Let's go Reapers, let's do this. We're going to show you a little taste of our medicine. Or of your, sorry, taste of your medicine. A
taste of the cheesy deliciousness of 2v2 action as the main nexus of CranK getting targeted down. First 2 Reapers going to be jumping in here. Can they rake some havoc in Heart's base? Maybe.
Maybe so. There's 2 Reapers to deny them, and 2 Stalkers actually from CranK moving across the map, and they barely just will not intercept this. No, they will not intercept that Reaper right there. But in the main of CranK, finally destroyed. No Nexus, no nothing, and he does not even have 400 minerals. He will have to rely on Heart to do something. Back on the other side of the map, the Vanguards look like they're doing pretty fine, just expanding, but there is 2 Stalkers at their door.
CranK is now being revealed this early in the game. It is indeed true. Heart is like, you need money, but I need to survive. I need another CC, so he's going to keep that around. Reaper's going to be trying to micro out against these Stalkers. A bit of a mistake there, sending one of the Reapers back a bit too early. Will end up losing one of the Reapers. The other one will manage to survive, and they will be able to focus down this Stalker. Of course, with that HP regen, they're pretty darn sick. And PureLegacy pushes on forward. It's basically a 2v1 from this point until CranK gets basically sent money.
And CranK was just sent money by the... Oh, wait. He had 500... I don't know. No, I don't know what happened with that. PureLegacy trying to push back Heart, and CRANK's going to micro the heck out of this 1 Stalker. This is all he has to do, literally. Still no money sent to CRANK, and CRANK is doing as much as he can. By the way, this is a best of 5. In the very beginning, I said they could possibly win it here, which is incorrect because this is best of 5, and they need 3 wins. So, but the Cannon Rush, I mean, the Cannon Rush was quite good. The nice thing, though, is the Cybernetics Core and Gateway is still there. If I was PureLegacy, I would focus down CRANK's Cybernetics Core, especially now that he's getting Gateway. And still no base for him.
PureLegacy getting
Heart
pushed
is
away
at
the
400
Reapers.
minerals, though. Heart is at 500 minerals. Heart is at 600 minerals.
Maybe
Did
he's
they not-
about to send it.
No, I mean, he's been at this for a while. Heart expands into the one that... what is wrong? Heart's like, you could not do it. Let me take over. You can't do anything. Do they not know
going
they can
cloaked
send
Banshee.
minerals? I know.
I'm
but
sure they know.
He had 600 minerals for a while. Like, I'm sure they know, but he had 600 minerals for a good 2 to 3 minutes. And he was just like, hi, guys. Oh.
That's sick Pro Bowl Warp Gate on the way for CranK. I mean, eventually, if he's actually able to get any money, he could totally do some damage with that. He's going to be pulling the boys, as they say. But this cloaked Banshee, this is a good opportunity to do some damage.
What is going on? CranK,
He's pulling the boys.
I know, but he's going into he's going into a bunker and a stalker, and he's not. This is not going to work, CranK.
He's grabbing the watchtower. Look, he wants
okay,
really
this
good
is
vision.
like if it's like when the couple Hellions come to secure the watchtower, they're like, you got 3 more seconds of watchtower. That's gonna be everything you need. But yes, Heart will be going Banshees. Maybe it's kind of like Heart, like they're sitting next to each other, and Heart was like, whoa, like wait up a second, I got this. Like you won the first game, I'll take second game.
But do you know the Pirates of the Caribbean where they have like the pirate's code, and it's like if you fall behind, you get left behind, and that's exactly what this is. CranK fell behind, and he's like
he had 600 minerals and decided to take a third base on top of the probes that were sitting at the third base. Like, you gonna give this to me? Maybe they're just like not communicating. I love if I could know like there's actually no communication between them through the entire thing. And now, interestingly enough, CranK is like, okay, I'm gonna just have the most map vision ever. Maybe this is like the most baller strategy ever. This is like
wow.
You're not gonna drop me. You're gonna suck if you drop me.
This is actually really great from CranK, as you said, 100% map vision almost, and this Banshee, it has costed a couple of SCVs, but maybe more than that, it has cost a stim of basically medevac-less Marines, and a scan as well. So yeah, it's not as devastating as, say, that in a 1v1, but still kind of annoying. And of course, as you mentioned, the 3 orbitals now up for Heart. He's basically saying, yeah, I can 1v2 these guys, easy.
I just like to point out, Heart has 1,800 minerals income, while the other 2 only have 1,000 minerals apiece income. Like, in the round, they're like, what? Okay, they just actually went up a little bit, but I was like, Heart's doing amazing. I feel like Heart should give shared unit control and just be like, maybe that's what they're doing. This is all actually CranK doing this Banshee play, but Mothership Core may try to photon overcharge. The cannon is there, but there's no robo to get that. Actually, there's a robo, but no observer.
Robo but no observer, always a problem. Banshee once again going to be heading on out there. I guess this is the second Banshee out for Heart. And I'm not sure where the other one went most of the way back home. He's just kind of chilling out, not really doing all that much just yet. Heart pumping out quite a few tanks. He does have to worry about both Protoss and Terran unit composition as this game moves forward. He's also going to have to really rely on either his or CranK's excellent unit control.
You know what's going to be great is I think these probes may actually spot this factory in the top left, but they may not. But I mean, this is phenomenal. Like, if our observer would just go to number 1 or 2's view right now, it is good. These probes are doing as much as they can, and he actually even spots the drop on the right-hand side. I think he does. No, oh, come on, it went through his probe.
But in the main base of, well, the old main base of CranK, a couple of stalkers jumping in for Larry. He's trying to do that. Bit of damage. Cannon's finally going to be cleaned up, pushed away, and destroyed as the pylon's not quite targeted down just yet. Now, a very nice drop there from PureLegacy. It may have been spotted, but it wasn't actually stopped.
I don't know, Cybert. I just wanted to say that. There's actually no reason to say that. But now, Heart defended all of that, but lost his... And now, okay, taking out the cybernetics core, that's just that's dirty, Larry. That is dirty. He can't even do anything. He even CranK even upgraded to Warp Gate and never made his gateway into a Warp Gate. So it's going to be crazy in the end. But Larry pushing forward very, very strongly with a total of 14 stalkers. But I mean, the army of CranK or Heart cannot be ran into. But on the right-hand side, still, there was just another attack by PureLegacy. Wait, am I getting this wrong? No, I'm not okay.
Oh, PureLegacy's moving in with a couple of medevacs full of Marine Marauder. They're going to be heading over towards that natural expansion of Heart. Going to be stimming in here, going to be able to clean up at least a couple of these SCVs. They kill a probe as well, because why the heck not going to be forcing the lift off of that orbital? And, hey, might as well kill a couple more SCVs.
Hart is at 1-1 and has to go back to the back of his base to defend, but in the front of his base, there's 14 Stalkers here, 15 Stalkers here, focusing down the tech labs and the reactors, doing as much damage as they can, blink out of the way, and on the bottom side of the map, 4-team Vanguard taking a Nether CC and a Nexus. Currently, they're on 6 bases and retreating, but now this is what counts. Can Hart make it count? Or, sorry, this is what matters right here. This is Hart's push, and I dare say it may be the final push, and we're going to see whether it's going to happen or not. It very well may. Like, I wouldn't actually be surprised, but on the other hand, it is 2v1, so...
It is 2v1. It's a lot of army supply for Larry and Legacy, but here's the big push in. This is a nice flank coming in, and the siege up does not happen. The tank's getting absolutely annihilated. Welcome to Seething Jungle, game number 3. Everything is tied up in this best of 5, this finals of the ASL Gemini tournament. I guess it's the Gemini League, but it's only a single tournament for now, not to be confused with the actual Gemini 2v2 League, which will be featured in ASL Season 5. Yep. Let's jump into it with our southern team. Axiom Pro Streamers is their name. Their Protoss component, he is CranK. Crank it up.
Hashtag crank it.
The Terran component of our southern team, this is Hart.
And their opponents in the top right-hand corner of Seething Jungle. This is the Protoss half of the Vanguards of all 2v2. From LGR, it is the Purple Protoss, Larry. And the other half of LGR and the Vanguards of all 2v2, well, the Vanguards, it is from LGR, the Pink Terran, PureLegacy. I'm trying to go high instead of low, and I'm like, PureLegacy. But I'm like, let's try something like...
CranK. You cheese CranK. CranK, cheese you.
I'm kind of scared now. Like, CranK walks up to me at like WCS Toronto and just says, like, "You're gonna die." If CranK said something to me, I'd just be afraid because his name is CranK. I'd be like, whoa, hold on, man. I'm like, I've done nothing to you.
I have the advantage of not really being able to go to any actual StarCraft events.
I would rather have the advantage of getting injured. I'd rather have the scary possibility of actually meeting someone that I'm casting.
Yeah. I've met actually very few like actual players, but whatever. I still get to cast awesome StarCraft Legacy, PureLegacy even. He is pure intelligence. Because he plays a lot of 2v2 and he knows where the silly spots are to proxy things. So he's gonna be like, all right, you got a Stargate, whatever. We can deal with it.
For Protoss, this is a terrible map because you just can't wall on your natural. Nothing like that. It's just so wide open, so it's very hard to hold it. But CranK, even though the probe is spotted and killed, CranK said, you know what, I don't even care. We're going to see an Oracle out of it. Oracle started, and there's double Stargate for Larry, but it's not quite going to be fast enough.
He does have the double Stargate, going to be cranking out some Phoenix. First Oracle should be out momentarily. Double Reaper on the way. Well, and by on the way, I mean not in the production tab. I mean on the way to the main base of Larry. Potentially, they're going to be diving into this probe line with the help of the Oracle. First Phoenix going to be jumping out to guard away that Oracle, and that kind of says goodbye to the aggression option.
I actually... Okay, my timers were completely off, yeah. It's not the same, but I presume that Oracle would get there first. But on the right-hand side of the map, in the natural PureLegacy, these Reapers are doing as much as they can, and basically Hart and CranK looked over at each other, like, in their eyes, and like they didn't even need to say what they needed to do. They just nodded, and they went on with the game.
One Reaper does go down. The two Reapers may not be able to escape. The Phoenix is going to be chasing them down to pick off at least one of them. The other guy will get eliminated by the Marines as well. So early aggression really, really not working out for Action Pro streamers.
Yeah, the Vanguards, as 2v2 being #1 apparently in NAEU, they know where to scout and what to prepare for. Now, CranK is going to do something kind of tricky here, doing DT Shrine. Interesting, though, because his opponent's going Phoenix. It may be a little bit easier for the Phoenixes to scout it, so it's an interesting gamble, but I'm a little bit excited. And also, wait, your opponent's Terran, so it's still kind of strange, but definitely some damage can get done there, while the Phoenixes of Larry are just checking out what to see. Sees Blink, and I say, okay, he's doing Blink, I know what he's doing. Doesn't need to worry about DTs, well, he really does.
Photon Overcharge gets popped as the Phoenix being forced away from that base. If they go a little bit too far over towards the left, they will see that DT Shrine going down. So they do always have to be wary of that.
And a tank started for Heart. I assume maybe a Marine tank push, but right now it's pretty much being all destroyed by Larry's Phoenixes right here. There's only 2 Marines actually there. A couple Stalkers taken out. Photon Overcharge goes down to push back these Phoenixes. This is 7 Phoenixes, and they even could go to Heart's natural base and do what they want. It's interesting, though, that CranK has not expanded yet, while both players in the other team have expanded, like we were talking about earlier in the tournament. Even though economy is so important in 1v1, it's very, very crucial, because you can be completely outclassed by 2 players just being slightly more economic than you.
In this case, we'll have to just kind of trust CranK to know what he's doing with DTs and with Blink Stalker control. First couple of DTs going to be making their way in. I don't know if they were actually... because Larry had the Phoenix kind of hovering over the area where the DTs were warped in, but was he actually looking? I don't think so. He might have actually seen like the glimmer or the shimmer as they were warping in, but there's a very good chance that he did not.
And I don't think he has. PureLegacy is not in position to defend this at all. And these DTs are being split up now. No more, actually one more DT being warped in as soon as CranK sees, okay, there's nothing there that's actually going to pose it. But on the ramp currently, actually a tank is picked up by these 7 Phoenixes. And actually it's now 8. Nothing to test these Phoenixes at all. Missile turret trying to go up, but I'm sure the SCV will be picked up. Some more Stalkers coming in with Blink, but not quite enough. Now DT's in the main, though, of Larry, working on those pylons. And also DT in almost every base.
A DT in every base keeps the doctor away or something like that. Maybe it slices your face.
DT in every base keeps the doctor away from you. Yeah, you don't get injured, man. Or you slice your...
You die. Yeah.
DT away kills your opponent. It rhymes.
This is really bad phrases. Don't anybody take these. Or actually, yeah, take them. You'll be out of business in a week. However, Stim going to be coming in for our Terran players relatively shortly. CranK doing significantly more in this game than in the previous game. Even a DT does survive. Just to tally things up for you guys watching at home, 11 probes for Larry have gone down, 15 SCVs for PureLegacy have been eliminated, a lot of those due to the DTs.
Yeah, and as we see on the other side, the flip side of the map, Heart is being very, very economic here, and he's pretty much being the macro side of this equation. And another DT, though, for CranK is moving in. Envision doesn't even spot it. 2 DTs, actually, technically. And this DT is, it's working on the probes in the main base of Larry. Now, what I'm kind of curious about is, they keep going in Vision, but is Forever Larry just going to say, okay, no Robo here? Just going to keep going Forge?
For now, that seems to be the option. We'll have to see if he's able to get up the courage to go for that. A scan goes down at the natural of PureLegacy. He wants to make double sure that he's got all of the DTs cleaned up. Finally, they do go down. They have done some serious work, though. 3rd CC just now going to be landing. The Mule's coming down for Heart. He's going to be, again, powering up that macro that we've seen do some serious damage in the previous games.
Yeah, Heart on 3 bases now. CranK still is not expanded. I'd kind of like to see him expand because these Stalkers are so important to be able to beat these Phoenixes, yet Marines also very good, and in this amount they're going to be devastating. They do not have any upgrades but Stim, and that's going to allow them to get in the exact position they want to be for this next upcoming attack, but they may actually get in completely the wrong position.
Phoenixes do poke in. They're going to be kiting over towards that left side of the map, and they do actually scout the pylon, so they will know that. They technically haven't seen the Dark Shrine, but it's not like they don't know the DTs are out on the map.
What is killing my face? This is so strange. They just keep
never figured it out.
Ooh, CranK could have a very nice blink up, takes out takes out 1 Phoenix, almost 2 Phoenixes. Really capitalized on that pretty well. Maybe he could have taken out a second one, but good for him. Also, Heart he does have a nice army now, but he would have had a lot more if those Phoenixes were sitting on his production the entire time. It's a fantastic mineral income right now. I'd love to see CranK do something, but Crank's like, you know what? I'm going to be able to say I went 1 base until like the 20-minute mark and still did it. He's going to be able to like just gloat all the time, man.
That's his goal, is to just do, like, have the record for the longest pro, like, 1 base play in Heart of the Swarm, or maybe in a 2v2. I don't know what his goal is. His goal is to use a lot of Blink Stalkers, which is going to be extremely important. Moving in here, Hart does have the command as far as army supply. He's got a crazy advantage over everybody else. And CranK, he's not doing too bad in the army supply, but the workers, a little bit of a flip-flop, as Larry and Legacy have the more workers overall.
Yeah, and to boot for Larry, I mean, these Phoenixes, this amount of Phoenixes is not going to do anything versus 60 Marines here, trying to get out as soon as they can. The robotics babe, it's still no Colossus, no range, no AoE, except for one siege tank. Hart is moving in on the right-hand side, actually, barely getting those bunkers.
There's a stim forward from Hart. He's going to be able to eat away a lot of these SCVs and absolutely tear through the Marines of PureLegacy. The Phoenixes are doing their part to lift up the Stalkers, but lifting up units, GG is not killing units. Welcome to Crystal Pools, potentially our final map of this series. It's a best of 5. This is the finals, and we have seen some pretty fun games throughout. But kicking it off, the team that is up 2-1, Axiom Pro Streamers, they are on the left side. The Terran component of this team, if you've missed it all, this is Hart. The Protoss component of the team, this is CranK.
And their opponents, the Vanguards, the Pink Terran from LGR. It is PureLegacy. And the other half of Vanguard, the Pink Protoss from LGR. It is the one, the only, Larry. Alrighty then. Getting this game off the top left-hand corner, we got some shenanigans maybe by CranK. Kind of hoping for something. He's kind of... He needs to keep his APM up. That's all that probe does. It's all APM right there.
Yeah, man. Now, the nice thing for Larry and PureLegacy is they've scouted almost every single game that we've seen them play. And in this particular case, as long as they get a look over into CranK's base, they're going to be like, you've got one pylon. Where's your other...
Wait. Is he going to come back? Oh, dang it. He doesn't.
So he doesn't actually... Yeah, he
I thought I was
doesn't
going to
actually
do like a
scout the
legit
edges.
double take. Like no, he's doing his double take now. He's like, no, something's wrong. Wait. Is he going to... What has he got at his base? No, Forge. Never mind.
Wait a second.
Oh, Hart's like, screw you, man.
Okay, yep. The Reaper goes up.
Alright, but in the top left-hand corner, we do have a Twilight Council going down. I'm guessing DTs. That's all. Obviously that's all you can do from here. But maybe Blink Stalkers. I pretty doubt it. It's not like a hidden Blink Stalker and be like, you don't know what I'm doing. But probably
He really wants to hide that one probe. That's why he's keeping it there.
Yeah. That's Jimmy. We don't. Jimmy's special.
Oh no, he's like legitimately putting a gateway down. There we go. There we go.
He expects his opponents are better because you got to be pretty good to scout his base and be like, there's a gateway and a Twilight Council missing. He's got to be doing something else. This is not what he's doing. But DT Shrine does go down. And for top right, the Vanguards playing how they've been normally kind of playing, except for the second game here. In this fourth game, they are. Yes, in this fourth game, playing like they normally have, pretty economically, taking their expands, doing what they do. But now Larry is being the aggressor in this case, getting Blink Stalkers. I haven't seen him do this lately, normally going into Phoenixes, but definitely this map, Blink Stalkers, I don't know if they're better, but Phoenix is maybe not the best choice in this map.
The best choice is whatever these players decide to do, because all 4 of them are perfect in every way. But, that being said, one of these teams is going to be less perfect than the other team. They're going to get totally rectorinoed. Nice scout coming out from PureLegacy. Again, if these guys are indeed the best 2v2 team to ever grace this world, to ever play StarCraft 2, to ever touch a mouse and a keyboard, as they say, then they probably know all of the sneaky little spots where people hide things. They probably know those things.
Do they really? To ever touch a mouse and keyboard, it is the one, the only, Heart.
No. If you think about I Am OGS Prime, the song by Tempo,
I got you. I got you.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, what am I doing? Tempo, man. But now it's to the 2.
Oh!
Reapers of Heartslake. You got nothing on me. You got nothing, man.
That DT
And-
escaped the scan.
Ooh, beautiful. DT escapes
Yeah.
the scan. And pylon from Larry.
Man.
Very, like,
Oh,
ballsy.
man. Wow,
Oh.
these DTs from CranK, they are the silliest DTs. And then he pieces out with the DT. He actually jukes around the stalkers. It's not going to work out, the DT in the main base.
This
It's
is
not going to
why
work
Crank-
out because of the Observer, but
This
whatever.
is why CranK is only on one base. This is
Yeah.
all his APM is this one DT. Like, ha ha. And even transferring SCVs. Oh, that was kind of intense right there. Observer finally getting to the DT. 4 stalkers doing their thing. And that looks like pretty cleaned up. I love how we're seeing missile turrets and like Protoss bases. It just looks so funny. Just have a random missile turret like, hey guys, what's up? But Blink coming down for CranK. He's not only DT rushing, he's saying, okay, I'm going to go into I'm guessing a Blink all-in because neither of these players have actually expanded yet. But there is 7 stalkers for Larry on their doorstep, but there is a siege tank and a bunker. So I mean, it's 2 siege tanks actually. This Larry's not going to get anything done. I'm just gonna spitball it right there.
He's not going to get anything done ever in his life. Wow, that's really mean
No,
of you to say,
he
Dronic.
plays video
But
games professionally. He's no.
high ground vision being granted by that Observers. The stalkers jump. That's the
one
stalker.
guys.
He's the dropout. All right, so this is actually a pretty serious amount of stalkers, but of course, photon overcharge and
8 to
potential
19.
reinforcements from Heart are going to be able to play factors in this engagement.
This was 19 stalkers to only the 8, but finally the Marines and the tanks reinforcing, just making sure Hart was that it wasn't a double-pronged attack. Finally does move in, sieges up the tanks, and pretty much denies all this. Finally, Hart's saying, okay, I gotta expand now. This is what I do. CranK does 1 base, I go 3. Larry now is, that's what they've done every game. You can't deny it, actually. That's what they've
Why
done
not?
pretty much every game. I know, and Larry now saying, okay, I gotta keep putting this pressure on, but Hart moving out. Oh, these tanks not in a great position, though. Cannot siege up right there. Maybe they do siege up now. Hart moving forward with the Marines, but a beautiful force field, kind of a strange force field, actually. But the rest of the units for Hart, the Marines cannot move down. Well, it's like the Marines couldn't move down anyways, because it was sieged up.
Either way, that was kind of an interesting force field going down. Not actually interesting at all, but it looked kind of cool because it was on top of the tank.
And
But it wasn't actually interesting. However, yeah, based force field. This is, again, a lot of stalkers going to be coming out from Larry. If he can trade and actually kind of divide and conquer against CranK, then he'll be able to crush through CranK's army. But I don't know if he has enough to actually crush through CranK and Hart by himself.
But CranK is contradicting me, saying, I'm going to take a second base, and just to make this good, just to make it really satisfying, it's going to be a ninja base.
Yeah. Very nice move from CranK. Larry going to have to jump on out of here again. Could he tank? Could he potentially take either one of these players by himself? Maybe. Maybe with some nice Blink Stalker control, he could take either one of these guys by himself. But I'm not confident that Larry can take both Hart and CranK at the same time.
No, especially especially only one observer and these siege tanks. He's in a phenomenal, or Hart, the Axiom Pro streamers are in a phenomenal position. We do see, as I was saying, the Nexus in the top part of the map. I'm wondering what's really a good decision. Obviously, the Stalkers are pretty hard to deal with. It's pretty much only a stealthy one. It's not like he needed a base and couldn't make it right there. I think he's in a fine position to make it there. But we see Larry. He looks like he's going to blink up. Blinks up into CranK, already ready there. CranK doing a decent, actually trading about evenly, but Hart is ready to get that Stimmers on.
Not actually that much Marine Marauder here. They do have that nice extra bit of DPS for Marauders, going to be able to put out some nice damage on those Stalkers. Forcing everything back, though. Larry deciding to call the retreat, and the Nexus on the left side for CranK. It's starting to actually get underway.
Yeah, workers now being there. I'd love to see the Whiterun move of teleporting with the mothership core there, like all the probes, so they're never shown. But I don't know if we'll see that happen right now. CranK and Hart are completely prepared for anything to actually TP up there, and doesn't look like they will. CranK teleporting to the low ground, or sorry, blinking, not teleporting, blinking to the low ground along with these tanks. It looks like the Axiom Pro streamers are looking for a win here, moving out, and on the other side of the map. For Larry, he's got 10 zealots, some stalkers. I don't think it's going to be enough, though, just because the stalker amounts are about the same for each side.
I just realized PureLegacy has, literally 9 army supply.
Yeah, man, he's not really, a part of this fight at the moment.
I'm assuming he's just feeding super hard. I don't know if there's any way for us to actually, check, like, statistically.
You just have to look at their income and like...
Yeah, and see if it, like,
for a while.
jumps.
Yeah, or drops.
At any rate, so it's going to be coming down to potentially just Larry and whatever he can do.
Oh,
transferring workers,
SCVs.
it's catching them, but it also does kind of reveal the fact that this army is here and a little bit of what is the army made of.
Yeah, definitely very important for this time. I love these zealots, but they gotta be in the front. Can't be pulling back. A gigantic concave though, maybe for Team Vanguard here. Stalkers moving in for Stalkers moving in force first. Siege tanks are down. These Stalkers kind of interesting. Foot overcharge goes down. Stalkers are being very careful here, not trying to gum in too much. And actually a nice point forward and nice point to the left.
There's the Stim Bio, and the tanks moving up onto the high ground, going to be able to deal out that splash damage. Zealots slashing through almost every one of these Stalkers. They're going to be on top of that Bio very shortly, and these are not enough medevacs. Yeah, it's 2-1, but can Team Axiom actually push through here, and can they actually close things out? They're making even more headway. Larry seems to have been defeated, and again, only 6 army supply from PureLegacy. He is not a part of this.
Another massive Zealot warp, and that is 8 Zealots trying to do something, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. The Photon Overcharge of the Nexus is purely not enough for this, and still 2 Siege Tanks survive. The Siege Tanks where there maybe something can happen, but once they siege up, it's going to be doing so much damage. And I love how Axiom Pro Streams, they don't even care about that base in the top right-hand corner. They're going for the vitals, they're going for the production here, and taking out as much as they can. CranK in the main base of PureLegacy trying to remove anything they can, and interestingly enough, I mean, Larry does have this Robo Bayout and a Robotics Bayout, so he does have the Robotics Bayout, but has never been able to make any Colossus, put everything into those Stalkers, as you were saying.
Everything into the Stalkers, everything into the high ground ramp, where this is a concave of Bio SCVs pulled to try to tank as there's warped in Zealots for CranK, and he's going to be able to slice and dice through much of this. Nothing really left for the Vanguards.
Yeah, the Vanguard's not looking like they have too much here. Pretty much everything dead. I think this is solid 3-1.
There we go.
No GG. Yeah. 3-1. Axiom. GG.
Thanks for watching the video. Please subscribe to support the ASL by hitting the button now.